plus landed jabs per round. He's going to try to use that to dictate the pace of this fight.
That's the best punch. It's long, it's sharp, and it's very accurate. He doesn't waste his jab. He doesn't waste punches. So anytime he's unleashing that jab, expect a nice right hand right behind it.
Well, the ring entrance was great. The ring attire was great. Let's see if the performance will match that from Shoo. Carlos Castro, been doing this a long time, started at the age of 8. Said because his parents didn't want him associated with the bad kids on the streets, so they put him in a boxing gym to keep him busy. And he's still busy at the age of 31.
Castro is good at mid-range if you get him, but when you have a jab like Shoo Carrington, it's hard to get something started in the mid-range. So you gotta break that range, get in the inside with upper body movement, and try to rough up a fighter like Carrington. But on the outside, you're just gonna get picked apart with jabs like that.
Castro's best weapon is that straight right hand. It's what put down Stephen Fulton in their fight. And Carrington's team is aware of it. They're going to be on the lookout for that straight right.
14 knockouts in his 30 wins for Carlos Castro.
Good stiff jab to the body. That sets up headshots, but everything's off that jab, off that stick, up and down. For Shoo, he controls opponents. He dominates fights. And look, it hurts opponents. Yeah. It landed cleanly like that.
That jab can feel like a power punch when thrown right.
It is a power jab, man. It's a beautiful jab. Shoo always stays off the ropes. He's always in the middle of the ring. That's another thing I noticed about him. He has a great jab, always in the middle of the ring, dictating the pace, always in control.
He's kind of a chameleon from what I've seen. Like, he can fight a lot of different styles. If he's got to be the one applying pressure, he's comfortable there. If he's fighting off the back foot, he's fine doing that as well.
Boy, if Carrington can get a lights-out performance here tonight, he'd do it not only in front of his home crowd, but some of the best who's I've ever seen ringside. I mean, Peter B. Evans sitting there, Connor Ben, Fabio Wardley, Boots Ennis, the list goes on and on. Triple G. Incredible star power here at Madison Square Garden. How'd you guys enjoy last night's round?
It was nice. You were narrating your work when you weren't there.
Shout out to Men's Warehouse for the Tux rentals.
Time!
Live Golf is back.
The scene is spectacular, so let's get it started. We have liftoff!
4 rounds, 72 holes, no cut. From Riyadh to Adelaide, Hong Kong to London, it's non-stop action.
Sit back and enjoy. It all starts now.
The season swings into action in Saudi Arabia, February the 4th to the 7th, live on DAZN.
Okay? You gotta fade downstairs. You gotta close the distance, fade downstairs and go upstairs. And this is what Robert Alcazar told Castro Recorder. He's fainting downstairs just to hit with that jab upstairs. But that's what happens when you have quick hands and you have fast feet and a brilliant jab like Carrington. And you can bet Shoo's going to turn that into a hook pretty soon as well, because it's not all jab with Shoo Carrington.
Carrington made his pro debut on the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3 undercard. Tonight fighting on the undercard is Teofimo and Shakur.
And one advantage that Castro has is that his level of competition is significantly better than Shoo Carrington. He hasn't won those fights that he's been in, but he's been nipping tough with a few of them, including Fulton, whereas Carrington has been built properly by the matchmakers at Top Rank.
Yeah, the resume and the experience is the only advantage that I see Castro having over Carrington. But Carrington has the speed, he has good pop in his punches as well, but he controls everything off that jab, off that stick, rolling with the shots, just real relaxed.
Nice uppercut on the inside from Carrington, left hook there from Castro. From those exchanges, Castro was wanting to have with him, Sergio?
Those are the only advantages I would see is to exchange with Shoo. Even though Shoo has the faster hands, that's the only chance that Castro has. Mixing it up with him on the inside. On the outside, he's going to get picked apart.
It's a good body work from Carrington.
Yeah, and if you can get Carrington on the ropes, then you got to just unleash anytime he gets near there. Because in the middle of the ring, he's going to be sniping you from all angles. Always boxing in circles, Carrington. And that says a lot about his amateur pedigree as well. You know, almost 300 amateur fights. You can tell that he knows how to fight with clean punches, keeping the fight in the middle of the ring, circling his opponents.
This is the first time Carrington's fought in the big room, as they call it here at Madison Square Garden, but he has fought in the theater, which is attached to MSG, 7 times, and he's 7-0 with 5 knockouts. Said this feels right at home, just a slightly bigger audience. And the crowd is filing in. We're almost at capacity now, and it's completely sold out tonight. With 2 fights to go, our co-main event with Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz, and then the main event, Lopez and Stevenson.
Tracy Castro throwing his jab, doubling his jab. And the thing about Castro's jab, he has good timing. You know, he's not as sharp or as accurate with that jab as Carrington is, but sometimes timing beats speed. And he almost caught Carrington with a big right hand right now.
He put his whole body weight into that one, Sergio.
Seconds.
He's looking for his moments that he can land that shot. And just missed there.
That's the thing, you have so much speed and length and jab.
Side.
Lazy, lose focus.
Sergio, what you guys got?
Those are 2 great boxers with unblemished records. And greatness appreciates greatness, man. I mean, what a picture.
You say Chris Mannix isn't great?
You guys are a lot more talented than us, that's for sure.
Think for yourself.
Here we go, round 3. Interesting that Castro, when asked who he kind of modeled himself after, he said he was inspired by Jorge Linares' style of all fighters.
El Travieso. Excuse me. I was thinking about another great fighter.
Shout out to Jorge, a great guy. Good golfer, too.
Jorge Arce was another thing about it. Good uppercut there by Castro.
Who'd you give the first 2 rounds to, Chris?
Yeah, I gave both the first 2 rounds to Shoo Carrington. Not a lot of decisive action, but the jab has been the key weapon for Carrington, landing it pretty liberally. Castro's done his best, trying to close the gap, push this fight more on the inside, but 2 rounds to none in favor of Shoo Carrington.
And everything off that jab, and if Castro's not going to move his upper body, he's going to keep his head in the line of fire. He's going to keep getting his head snapped by that jab.
Jab right there for Castro.
Yeah, but he needs to keep going. You have your opponent on the back, then that's when you got to unleash your right hand. That's when your combination's going.
So I agree. He's got to let that right hand go. I mean, that's his advantage in this fight. Every other advantage, athleticism, jab, overall skill, you'd probably favor Shoo Carrington. But that right hand, pretty good for Castro.
Castro has now outlanded his opponents in terms of overall connects in 26 consecutive rounds.
Well, if he can keep breaking after that double jab, and I can see him landing some combinations, but he stops once he throws 2 or 3 jabs. Carrington just waits until he stops jabbing, he counters him away.
Now he's lighting him up. This is what the crowd wants to see. Right hand right on the ear. That could be damaging. Castro's frozen in his tracks, and Carrington's putting in the work.
Beautiful combination, picking him up off the floor with those uppercuts and left hooks. Carrington has powerful punches. And that's what speed that power that he has.
That's a little bit I was talking about. He was comfortable available really any range. They'll start to fight from the outside, using that range. It becomes an inside fight. He's ready to go in that middle.
High fight IQ, but very versatile when it comes to punch selection.
That's going to be a confidence booster for Carrington. He just stood right in front of Castro and worked him over like that.
Castro's not a couple guys that you put down. Castro's been stopped one time on his feet by Brandon Figueroa. So even though Carrington's out punching, you can stop this man on his feet if you put combinations like you just did. The Shoo does need a punch and dip. He gets caught sometimes lingering with his head up. Castro already caught him with 2 right hands after he's finished punching.
That's second.
Shot from Castro. And Redmond Carrington has really shown right. Oh, he just missed with that left hook, didn't he?
Time.
Jovial and energetic all week long, guys.
When he's happy, man, he's an entertainer. But when he brings that spirit into the ring, the Heisman comes out. I mean, this man can fight, he can entertain, he can box, he can do it all. When he's fighting on all cylinders, he's going to need it against your board tonight. Who's the underdog with?
And I feel, Chris, like he almost likes being the underdog. You get that sense?
I think he doesn't mind being the bad guy, being the villain in these situations. And look, you'd be hard-pressed to find many people picking Teofimo Lopez, but I wonder coming in, what game plan does he have to unlock the defense of the best defensive fighter in boxing today?
Bruce Carrington landed 13 power punches in the third. Castro has landed 17 total in this fight.
Castro needs to break that range. On the outside, it's going to be all Carrington. He has the faster hands, the longer reach. He's just a more explosive fighter, so you need to beat that with timing or getting on the inside and roughing up a polished boxer like Carrington.
I think roughing up might be difficult as well. I mean, Shoo, you saw that last exchange. He was comfortable there on the inside. There's a good uppercut.
Yeah, that right cross on the button, right as you mentioned it, Chris.
Excellent combination, man. And you know what? You got to flash up what you just said right there, Maddie, because Castro did break that range with the quicker hands and the eagerness to throw punches, combinations with Carrington on the inside.
And this is where you said Castro has to unleash when he backs Carrington up against the ropes, and he's not doing it.
Because he's intimidated by the hand speed and accuracy of Carrington. This is a sharp, very sharp boxer puncher.
Castro coming off the longest layoff of his career was 16 months ago when he fought Stephen Fulton.
Turn, barely blocked it with his shoulder, came back with that right hand. Very athletic move by Carrington there, just beautiful power boxing. It's hard to beat a fighter, a boxer like Shoo Carrington when he's this sharp.
Well, that might have dazed Carrington a little bit. He thought it was the back of the head.
Wow.
Carlos senses something. Carrington's backing up.
Castro rocked him with a right hand on top of the head.
Carrington holding on. We haven't seen him in this kind of trouble. Let's see how he gets through this.
Castro's letting him off the hook. He should be throwing caution to the wind right now.
Carrington not tied up. He's going to punch back with it.
And Castro now going to the body. I mean, this is where you're going to get that headshot again. If you go downstairs, go down to the bottom, hit the ribs.
Carrington calling him in, Chris. He wants the challenge.
He's calling it in, but I think he still might need some time to recover there in the corner. Got to get back on that stick.
Oh, big jab followed by a right hand. This could be the moment Carlos Castro's looking for.
Good counter right there from Shoo as well.
Big shot there by Castro. Even though it was partially blocked, when you have your opponent semi-hurt, shots like that will keep rocking you.
Castro has about a 50% KO ratio. He's got pop. We told you that he dropped Stephen Fulton in his last fight.
Good shot there.
Last round, but
Seconds.
for Castro. He's in this fight now.
And we see Castro chopping him down with that right hand. That's what happens when you feel comfortable dipping down to that spot. Against a right-handed puncher, punching down like that, that's a big no-no. That's a bad habit that Carrington has, going to the same side. He's going to have to dip to the other side, or that punch will be there once again.
Yeah, that's what it was. Carlos Castro has that right hand. Both these guys exchanging rights there, standing in the corner.
Shoo needs to get off the ropes and get back to the middle.
You see Robert Alcazar in the corner of Carlos Castro, former trainer of Oscar De La Hoya.
Sergio, you mentioned the hometown curse, that sometimes fighters get out of character trying to impress their friends and family. Carrington said, I don't believe in that. Explain what you're talking about.
He's not going to believe until after this fight. I mean, right now, that was a shaky round for Carrington. If he has another one of those, he's going to start having to believe, because the thing about the hometown curse is like you're thinking about the knockout too much. You're thinking about power too much instead of just boxing, instead of just letting the fight flow to you. And against a veteran, you got to be careful.
Let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard quickly.
Yeah, 3 rounds to 1 in favor of Shoo Carrington. 3 rounds in, I thought Shoo was in cruise control. Then that 4th round, the right hand from Carlos Castro detonating on the head.
Oh, and again, a right hand from Castro.
That's his best weapon, guys. That is what he's bringing to the table in this fight.
And Sergio, right before that right hand, Shoo dropped his head again and got clipped right behind the ear.
Yeah, that's another bad habit by Carrington. He dips down to the right and he keeps his head a little bit too high after punching. And you know what, Todd? You mentioned Jorge Linares earlier. Now I see it. He has this nice short right hand where he doesn't cock it back. He throws it from chin to his target, and Linares was able to hurt Devin Haney with that punch and plenty other people because of his timing and speed.
The last samurai, Jorge Linares.
Once again, Castro dictating the pace here, getting Shoo back against the ropes. That's where Castro wants to keep, but the range that he likes.
Look at where Castro just holding that right hand, right? He's not going to pull it back. He's waiting for the opportunity just to throw it like a laser right down pipe. And if Shoo keeps dipping to his right, that punch will be there.
Castro forcing Carrington back to the ropes.
Yes, he is. And like that right hand, barely missing by Castro.
Castro's got a nervous habit where he keeps trying to pull his shorts up from the bottom. What if Carrington might catch him with something when he's in the middle of doing that sometimes?
Castro needs to get aggressive. Anytime Carrington's against the ropes, you gotta just put your punches together. Coming off his best rounds, Carlos Castro right here, can keep the momentum going by winning another quiet round where Carrington's still boxing. He's still not letting his punches go. These are the rounds you can steal if you're Carlos Castro.
Left hand for Castro. Good shot. Yeah. He's trying to get that round to the Mexican. Let's check with Chris Mannix, who's with Boot Ennis.
Here, we got the right hand that Shoo can't seem to get away from.
I think Shoo, he's taking the right hand away good. He's starting to catch it now. Shoo looking real good to me. And he's doing his thing. It's a fight though, but he's looking good.
All right, so everybody's wondering, when are we going to get it? You versus Ortiz. How close? Give me a percentage. Think we're going to get that fight this spring?
Right now, everybody keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully within a couple days or within a week, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm just sitting here waiting.
You see Josh Kelly fight?
No, I ain't see. I already won though.
Good fight.
154 is mine. I'm taking over the division. It's my division, 1 by 1.
Thanks, Boots.
He didn't give him a percentage, Sergio, but he said he's hoping in the next few days with his fingers crossed. I think all of boxing is, having their fingers crossed. This sport sometimes is known more for the fights that don't get made more than the fights that do get made. Let's hope we don't have to go down that trail with Boots versus Virgil.
Fingers crossed. That's a mega fight between two fighters with no belts included. It's just their name and their fighting style that's going to bring the popularity to that fight.
Yeah, someone said it may not be the biggest fight in boxing you could make, but it could be the best.
Yeah.
And there's a left hand from Carrington. Want to see the best of him. Castro's done pretty well, especially the last 2 rounds.
I'll tell you what, Castro has been able to rock Carrington. Now, anytime he lands a clean punch, Carrington, his legs kind of act a little funny. So I don't know if it's Castro letting the right power shot or Carrington being a little chinny. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've seen him shake twice already.
Castro certainly has the edge and experience. 33 pro fights compared to just 16 for Shoo.
That's the resume, too. It's not just the number of fights. It's the quality of the opponents on that resume. This was always a question with Shoo coming in. Enormously talented, strong amateur background, been groomed for this moment, but now he's going up against a guy that has a level above anybody he's faced to this point.
And that's the thing about being a naturally gifted and talented fighter, a boxer. You still need the names. You still need to fight the tough guy. You still need to fight go through a champion. Carlos Castro's been there and done that. He's gone through that fire.
Carrington said he was offered other fighters, lesser competition, and said, I want to be great, and I have to fight a guy who's dangerous. And Carlos Castro has shown he is dangerous. Sergio, you said you didn't think Castro could outbox Carrington, but can he win on the scorecards?
If he has the same run as he did in the last 2 rounds, I think he can. Because he's landing some good shots. He got the respect of Carrington. He's landing some good right hands. That's going to be the main punch against Shoo. Shoo keeps his head high after punching. So anytime he's done punching, he picks himself up and changes his toes. I think Castro's catching on.
Now Castro trying to bully, Carrington trying to bully Castro a little bit here. Not sure he wants to play that game.
There's that short right hand. See how it lands on top of the head. That punch keeps landing there because anytime Shoo's done punching, he just stands right up.
Short little left from Castro, competitive round 6. Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia coming your way Saturday, February 21st, exclusively on DAZN from the T-Mobile Arena. Sergio, do you think we're going to get the Ryan Garcia that looked so great against Devin Haney, or the one that looked so bad in his last fight?
I have no idea when it comes to fighters like Ryan Garcia, just like Teofimo Lopez. They can be great one night, and they can be cold another night. So I don't know who we're going to see. You gotta think. You gotta think a little bit more breathe. You need to keep going forward. But don't stay in the right fire. Don't stay in the middle. Don't go right hand and get an angle.
Bruce Carrington landed 32 jabs over the first 3 rounds of this fight. Since then, though, Chris, only 19 over the past 3 rounds.
Yeah, Castro's made this a more physical fight, and he's positioned Shoo where he wants him. This is where Bruce wants to be. Center of the ring, using that 72-inch reach. Good uppercut there. If he can keep the fight here, he's going to have an advantage.
And just keep jabbing. You can beat this man with a jab, with a long jab.
Yeah, I've got a 58-56 in favor of Shoo. That 6th round was ultra competitive, but I thought Shoo just edged it out with some of his accuracy, but very close 6th round. 2-point lead right now for Bruce Carrington.
So what's your advice now to each of these respective fighters, Sergio? Let's start with Carrington.
Well, with Carrington, you gotta punch and dip. You can't just spin it. When you're on the inside, you're done punching. You can't just stand straight up. You gotta either stay down and get low and
Nice right hand.
get an angle and get out of there, and for Castro, keep being the last one to punch with that right hand.
Carrington having some success in the middle of the ring. That's where he shines. Castro does a little better, it seems, closer to the ropes or in the corner.
The more polished boxer is Carrington, but the experienced fighter, that's Castro. So if you're in the middle of the ring, it's all advantages to Bruce Carrington. If you're near the ropes, and that's when Castro's experience and roughness comes into play.
It's just like real estate, it's all about location, location, location. Good body shots he got for Castro, those will add up. This crowd waiting to come to life. Sold out, jam-packed Madison Square Garden.
I think the gas tank of Castro is something to watch closely as we get into the second half of this fight. He faded down the stretch against Stephen Ford. He's been off for, what, 18 months, 16 months since that fight. Does he have that same energy as we get into the trial of this fight?
That's what Carrington needs to start doing. Put the punches together. Notice how he's not standing straight up now. Now he's swiveling and going to the side, trying to go under the punches or the punches that might come from Castro, but he's not standing straight up now. Dipping and rolling. There you go. See, there's that roll. That's what I want to see. Every time he punches, go under the punches of Castro. Make him miss, make him pay.
Good combination from Carrington. Punctuated by a right hand. Carrington seems to be finding his form again here in this fight.
Yeah, this was a really sharp, good round by Carrington. He found something with that swivel defense going under the punches, and he started foot fading more. So Castro doesn't know what to get at, or he's
Drive!
Okay? And look at your work because you hit it. He's still coming. Don't get that body like you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Stop coming up wide with it. Good body shot for catching counters by Shoo in there. Punching and dipping. That's what I mean by swiveling. Punching, dipping under the shots of Castro. Body shot. Nice shot. Nice combination right there. Short right hand. But there's the swivel defense I'm talking about. Anytime you're punching, you're not standing straight up from Castro to land that right hand anymore.
Shoo Carrington was named the most outstanding boxer of the 2020 Olympic trials. Didn't make it to the Olympics. COVID interrupted those plans. But here he is in a major fight in front of a major crowd in his hometown.
Clash of heads there between Shoo and Castro. I think both those guys took some of the punishment from it. I don't know if you guys can see
The crowd yesterday.
I'm sure Chris will try to influence his own.
You know me too well.
Good luck to him. That exchange from Carrington. Total punches thrown and landed. Carrington less busy and much more accurate than Castro, who's landed 86 of 394.
Yeah, a large number of those punches from Carrington have been off that jab. Good right hand on the follow-up. But he keeps that this distance. And he's, varying his punches. He can be really tough.
Shoo does this thing where he rolls. He rolls with the right hand, and Castro comes back with his right hand. It's a beautiful move, but he needs to dip under that, because then he's just a stationary target. See, like right there, he tried it again. He rolls with the shot, comes back with his, but then he stands up. Anytime you do that, you gotta go under the punch that might be coming. Yeah, right there.
Carrington.
Stop right. Roll through the right hand, but he stood straight up again. Castro's bound to catch him again. Nice short right hand by Shoo.
Left for Carrington as he stands in the pocket with Castro. Bryce and Castro having similar success that he did earlier in these exchanges. As Carrington blows some big shots. There's another one.
Carrington's shotty right now. He's rolling with the shot, keeping it. He's not overloading on these power punches. He's catching with his shoulder and coming right back. They're short, they're concise, but they're fast. And the speed is on the side of Carrington right now. That's very impressive on the part of Carrington being stay flat-footed like that, right in front of his opponent, right in front of the opponent, making a miss, barely making a pay. There you go, see, there's that tip.
Time.
Left hook of Castro.
Oh, not yet, not yet.
Carrington pops him and puts up the guard to block the offense coming back.
No time.
Beautiful round by Shoo.
Vamos al aire. Así no, pero lucha, amigo, quedó primero. Quedó golpes, porque cuando quiera hacer
Chris Mannix stays with Connor Ben.
Two fights there at once, sitting ringside. The one in the ring, and you and Rolly Romero going at it there?
Yeah, listen, you come up to me, so if he wants it, he can get it. We can do it next, no problem. We can do it here, we can do it in London. He can get it anywhere.
You think that fight's gonna happen?
Yeah, of course it is. We can do it, mate. You know, we can do it in April. If not, then we can do it whenever. I can do it now. We can do it tonight if he wants.
What do you think of what you're seeing so far?
Right now, I think Castro's up a little bit.
Really?
I think he's up a little bit. I like Shoo. He's my guy, and I like what he does. I like his style. I think it's a very close fight. It's very even.
Appreciate it, Con.
Pleasure.
Well, to be fair, like Chris said, Conor was kind of in a push and shove with Rolly Romero, so he's not really scoring this fight, but he thinks Carlos Castro is holding his own right now.
When he wasn't fighting or being distracted, he probably saw what we saw. I mean, Castro is winning some rounds, but Shoo is in control of this fight. I have Shoo up, but it's definitely a competitive fight.
Well, let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard, and he's got a wide lead now for Carrington.
Yeah, starting to open up a little bit. 78-74 in favor of Shoo Carrington. He had some rocky patches there in the 4th or 5th round, got clipped by a big right hand, but since then he's started to reassert himself, work behind that jab, and when these guys are exchanging right now, it's Shoo Carrington on my card with the edge.
Still in search of our first knockout tonight. Can Shoo get it? Or maybe Castro. He showed flashes of power in those middle rounds. There's a big right hand.
Oh, he's down. He is down.
That was a big shot right to the chin. Doesn't take power, takes accuracy, and Carrington.
Yes.